Long time no see. How's everybody? I've been working on a video for a while dealing with Abraham or Abram and the issue of his faith and his character as a man. And I had remembered some years back reading an article in a Watchtower, which this was back when I was pretty much, a strong believer. I had lots of faith. I thought I had lots of faith. And the name of the article is "Have Faith Like That of Abraham." And that always stuck in my head. And when I was working on this video, I actually tried to find the article again, and I couldn't for some reason. I mean, I typed that title into the search bar on the Watchtower library, and it didn't show up. Apparently titles don't show up. I don't know. For some reason it didn't show up, and I have yet to check if it will show up now. But I did something wrong. I don't know. I couldn't find the article. And I had worked on this video. I spent a lot of time on it because that's just how I am. I'm very slow about things. And I was actually getting ready to upload it, and I just thought I would kind of check one last time in the Watchtower library, and I typed in a very simple search. All I typed in was "she is my sister," and bam, there's the article. And I'm kind of happy about that, because the article distressed me years ago, and as I sit here and the article distressed me years ago, and but at that time, whenever something like that would happen, I would just kind of, put it in the back of my mind or set it aside and hope that it would work itself out. Apparently, though, what happens when you continue to do that over and over again is they all start to surface later, sometimes at the worst possible moments. Anyway, because my background is with the Jehovah's Witnesses, and because I do feel that very often the articles are well written, well put together, I'm going to pretty much abandon my video, and I'm just going to read some points from the article here and interject my opinion where I see fit. So, in a way, this is a video questioning the Bible, but also it's questioning the viewpoint of the Watchtower. So if there's anybody out there who sees anything wrong with the way I reason on things, then I would very much appreciate hearing your opinion. To be honest, I don't want to feel the way I do about the Bible. I would like to have complete trust in it again, but at this point in time, I don't put a whole lot of stock in it. And I'm going to share a few reasons right now. Now, this article, like I said, is entitled "Have Faith Like That of Abraham," and then the theme scripture is Galatians 3:7, and it says, "Those who adhere to faith are the ones who are sons of Abraham." Now, I hope you're already familiar with the story of Abraham, especially when he left Haran and headed for Canaan. In the story where he told everyone that his wife Sarah was his sister. If you're not familiar, go ahead and read the account whenever you get a chance. And read it with an honest and open heart. Don't cram the things that don't make sense in the back of your mind. For Jehovah's Witnesses, we're often told to use our reasoning abilities. We're told things like, well, hellfire, if hellfire was a true doctrine, well, it would make God a terrible God, a God not worth worshiping in the first place. So they try to appeal to your reasoning abilities. They tell you to trust in them, and then when you try to reason on other things that don't make sense in the Bible, they tell you not to do that, to not rely upon your own understanding. And so that's a double standard, and it's quite frustrating. So anyway, moving on here, the very first paragraph in the article says, Abram had left a life of comfort in Ur in obedience to Jehovah's command. The inconveniences he experienced in the following years were merely a prelude to the trial of faith that he faced in Egypt. The Bible account says, "Now a famine arose in the land." How easy it would have been for Abram to feel bitter about his situation. Rather, he took practical steps to provide for his family. Abram made his way down toward Egypt to reside there as an alien because the famine was severe in the land. So, if you're not familiar with the account, actually, let me go ahead and read a couple of scriptures to you. In Genesis chapter 12, verse 1 through 3, it says, "And Jehovah proceeded to say to Abram, Go your way out of your country and from your relatives and from the house of your father to the country that I shall show you. And I shall make a great nation out of you, and I shall bless you, and I will make your name great, and prove yourself a blessing. And I will bless those who bless you, and him that calls down evil upon you I shall curse. And all the families of the ground will certainly bless themselves by means of you." So basically God appeared or somehow communicated with Abram, and he made him this conditional promise. He said, if you leave your hometown, you leave your friends, your family behind, I will bless you, I will protect you, I will take care of you. And so Abram went. And then the first time he runs into some trouble, there's a famine in the land. What does he do? Does he trust in God? Well, not exactly. I mean, of course, we all have to do things. I mean, we can't just be lazy and trust in God. I'm not saying he shouldn't have gone down to Egypt. But Egypt was a pagan nation. Later on in the Bible, in Isaiah, I think around chapter 30 or something, it says, "Woe to those who go to Egypt for assistance." Now, I know that Isaiah is written quite some time later, but God's opinion of the place certainly would not have been any better back in Abraham's day. So anyway, moving on to the second paragraph of the article, it says here, we read at Genesis chapter 12, verses 11 through 13, "It came about that as soon as he got near to entering Egypt, then he said to Sar'ai his wife, Please now, I well know you are a woman beautiful in appearance. So it is bound to happen that the Egyptians will see you, and will say, This is his wife. And they will certainly kill me, but you they will preserve alive. Please say you are my sister, in order that it may go well with me on your account, and my soul will be certain to live due to you." Now, as you may know, Sar'ai was 65 years old, thereabout, at that time. People lived longer back then, according to the Bible, and it says in the Bible that she was a very beautiful one, so I'm not going to argue with that. But the thing is, Abram asked his wife to lie to save him, and he even went so far as to give credit to her for his soul continuing to exist. Now, does this sound like a man who's putting trust in a promise from God? I mean, wouldn't it have been possible for him to be honest and trust in God at the same time? Isn't that what a God of justice would have preferred? Maybe I'm out of line, set me straight, but I do believe that honesty is always the best policy, especially when you have God backing you. So anyway, moving on, I like how in paragraph 3 it says here, Abram spoke to his wife about using a ploy they had earlier agreed upon, namely to say that she was his sister. And I looked up ploy in my dictionary, and it says that a ploy is a cunning maneuver to gain advantage. Advantage. Not just to stay alive, but to gain advantage here. So what was the goal with this lie? Was it merely to stay alive? Paragraph 4 says Sar'ai could say that she was Abram's sister because she really was his half-sister. Fine, but first and foremost, she was his wife. And, you know, if she was just his sister, it would have been probably okay for Pharaoh to go ahead and marry her, but certainly, obviously, it was not. This created quite a problem. So, anyway, moving on, this article just keeps getting better and better. It says here, how distressing this must have been for Abram and Sar'ai. This is paragraph 6. It appeared that Sar'ai was in line to be violated. But Abram had created this situation. If he would have said she's my wife in the beginning and trusted in God, then God would have had to step in sooner, and Abram wouldn't have had to lie. It would have made everybody look better, because as you'll see in the account, if you haven't already noticed, this makes everybody look bad. It says here, Pharaoh, unaware of Sarai's true marital status, lavished gifts upon Abram, so that he came to have sheep and cattle and asses and menservants and maidservants and she-asses and camels. And this next sentence, and I remember this from the years ago that I read it, this is the sentence that really just pissed me off. It says, what contempt Abram must have felt for these gifts. If he didn't like the gifts, then certainly he should not have accepted them. I mean, these gifts were the price of his wife. He pimped his wife out. And it's funny because there's another account where Abram saves his nephew Lot from Sodom, you know, where the kings came and invaded Sodom, 5 kings versus the 4 or whatever. And after he saved the king of Sodom, the king was like, here's some gifts. And Abram was like, no, I'm not going to take gifts from a pagan king. I don't want you to be able to say you made me rich, but here. He accepted them gladly. Anyway. So what happens here? You know, there's this terrible situation. Abram has had to lie just to keep himself alive. What is God going to do? What's the very best thing God could do? Well, here is the answer. It says, then Jehovah touched Pharaoh and his household with great plagues because of Sar'ai, Abram's wife. In some undisclosed way, the true cause of these plagues was revealed to Pharaoh. So, the best thing God could come up with was to punish the man being lied to. To punish him. Why not just speak to him? Better yet, why not just speak to Abram and say, hey man, you need to come clean, don't worry, I'll protect you. But no.